Alright guys, so we're going to start installing the display, and the system we'll be using is the Starline, and so all the wireless stuff has been connected already and we want to see it. So originally this was designed to fit the Micron 5, but when I found this, it was already after the fact that we had designed the wheel, and this is primarily wireless. And so for me, having to try and connect everything through the quick release hub and the pinned hub and everything else, this is going to be substantially easier. It does mean though there will be some modifications required on the front screen. So the idea is to cut this out to the shape of this, extrude this slightly, just a little bit, so that we're able to just keep it nicely raised. So it's the first thing that you're going to end up touching when you're busy. And the corners, I'm talking about slight, like maybe 2 millimeters off on each side. So we'll trim it, put it in, create a stainless steel bracket on the back section that will hold everything together, and then glue that stainless steel bracket onto this, so that when we want to take the display out, we can just take the whole thing out. So it'll be in there, remove the whole piece, and it's there. That's what it looks like. Just another step in the way. Another process. Alright, so just a high level sanding quickly with an 80 grit. It's probably left some scorch marks here and there, but I'll have to fix them up. Don't have time to spend too much time finessing over everything. I just need to get it right quickly. So yeah, that's what it looks like now. Much better. Now time for some refinement, and we'll take it from there. Alright guys, so it's not perfect. I know it's not perfect. But considering the resources we have, I'm very happy with the outcome, or happy-ish. So you can see we've shaded the areas. You'll always get these little pinholes with your first coat of clear. Unfortunately with carbon fiber, that's just how it works. And this thing was infused, so there was no air in here at all. You can see some of the little areas there. So that's what it looks like at this stage, and I'm going to now wet sand it down. I'm going to start with 1,500, then a 2,000, and then I'm going to do another 2 coats of clear, and then hopefully by tomorrow I can wire this bad boy up and have it finished. So that's what it looks like so far. Alright, so I designed this quickly on a piece of paper, got the guys to laser cut it out with some bending tabs, and that's now cut out. Now I'm going to take that, put it on like that, and then we'll use the structural adhesive to mount it onto the carbon fiber front shield. So that's what it looks like. Coming together nicely. So you can see what I've done is use a nice amount of structural epoxy, and I put a 4mm hole in each corner, and I allowed a lot of that just kind of that epoxy to come through. And what that's going to do is create a nice strong anchor, because now you've got like almost like a bolt head that's extruded, and as it starts to relax, because it's quite thickly mixed, it will start to flatten. And so that's the process that we've taken. And then I just put a 3mm spacer in there for now. That will obviously be rubber in there, and that 3mm spacer allows me to, I can go 3, 4, 5mm depending on how far I want the display to extrude. So that's what it looks like, and yeah, coming together. Alright guys, so this whole thing is now fastened in here, and you can see we've got loads of space in the background there. Very happy with how it came out. This now obviously drops in through the opening, and then we've got the spaces on the back. So that's what we're busy with now, just getting that done. Alright guys, so this has taken quite a bit of time. We've molded it. I then got Caleb here.
Hi.
To put his hand into this clay so that we can get the look that we wanted. We then use a thinners like this and slowly brush on to start getting the finish that we're looking for. Then I took an edge and just tapered all the top sections and the bottom sections. And now what I've got is I've got Caleb busy running tape on the cardboard. And obviously we're going to use this cardboard to make the enclosure so that I can throw the two-part mold. I'm going to be using a very dense silicone base. And so we'll pour half, and then once the other half, once it's dry, then we will pour the other half, and we will have a incision here so that we're able to cast the piece. And I'm going to use a special type of high density foam, and we're going to cast it and see what it does. In the meantime, let's get Caleb the monkey to sort this thing out. Come on, let's see your skill sets.
Forwards or sideways?
That way, yeah. Like you did the other one. No pressure. No pressure, Caleb. Boom. Most difficult. This was the most difficult part of the entire project, guys. This was like, this was the one part that I could not do.
I'll hit you.
You nailed it, Caleb. You're nailing. Well done, my boyki. So that's what we're busy with. Let's see where we look. Hopefully it comes out. So use some box tape on the inside here. Tape the inside and the outside. And then the steering drops down to there. And then we throw it in, cast it up to a point, and then do the next side. So that's what we're going to do now. Okay, this has been quite an interesting one, like everything. This is the grip here is specifically for Caleb's hand. So it's been a lot of molding, a lot of back and forth, and then, you know, I've spent a lot of time kind of making up the box that's going to house the silicone mold, and then I forgot to spray it, so then I have to cut the box open. So yes, it's you know, one of those things. We go back and forth. Let me not throw this thing out here. It's been enough work as it is. It's quite soft, so it's not something that you can handle quite aggressively. So just giving it 2 coats of this ease release, and then we will cast half in like a blue silicone, the other half in a red, so we know where the join marks ultimately go. And I just like color, so yep, that's where we're going. Right, so it's the next day, and that little bolt obviously went onto its side, but nonetheless it'll still act as a good locating pin. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 locating pins. It's pretty much dry now. I can feel it's got a nice hard tack to it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work out where to put the pipe, on the top or the bottom. Probably going to put it on the top here, because it'll be a little bit easier just to trim it and clean it off there. And that will be where we put the piece coming in to pour, so that we can fill this whole thing up. So I'm just gonna pour the next level now and let it cure. And then by tomorrow we should be able to start actually making casting the first handle. Okay guys, so obviously taken the silicone and the clay off there. You can see inside here we've got a couple of imperfections, unfortunately. I'm leaving it closed because I can open it, but it's kind of nice to have it so tight. And you can see one or two little imperfections, which means that once we cast, there's one there. Once we cast it out afterwards, I'm going to have to trim the little piece of foam that we cast on there. I've got to kind of clean up the one side of the mold. Then I'm going to put everything back together, and then I'll cast through there. And you can see that that goes straight through, and then once we peel this thing off, I'll have to trim this piece off. So there'll be some trimming. Hopefully it's not too bad, but I've never done this before, so this is a first for me, and I'll see what it looks like and what it comes out looking like. All right. This has been quite a journey. So this is what it looks like so far now. There's always going to be little imperfections on here because remember we just made it out of a clay mold. But this is not supposed to be here. So once again, I will cut it off. This will be try number 4 now that I'm attempting. This time, however, I am going to try inject. Boom, inject it as hard as I can. So fill it up from this side and then inject it from this side to see what happens. So that's what we're going to do now. This is turning out to be a nightmare, but anyway, we'll see what we get. Alright, so try number 5, and you can see it came out substantially better. I still got to trim it a little bit. Like I said, those little holes are always going to be there because they were inside the mold to begin with. At the bottom you can see them there.
Hello.
This is my daughter Abigail. She's been helping me out. You can see it's late at night, so we've put a lot of hours in. But try number 5.
Shining bright and like a star.
And the stars are shining bright. Everything's a mess, but hey, we got it done and it's coming together. So very happy with that. Okay, so they'll never be exactly the same. So let's just start off with that. Let's get that out the way. But they are very similar. And the most important thing is that Caleb, the man down there, is happy with how it feels. So he's happy with it. I used the vernier just to check all the little dimensions, and they're very, very similar. They're a couple of thou off in some cases, and up to 1 mil to 1.5 mil in some places. So wait for that to dry, then we're going to smooth it out again with some of this thinners, and then once it's smoothed out, we'll make the mold again. Cut, paste, and repeat.